Greetings and salutations. Greetings and salutations. Uh, Peace and love to the bloodlines. I was going to save this for a couple of days, but I think we really need to get started on this. I'm not here for views and all of that. So, Amalek woman, we are not ready for war because we keep centering men. And the reason why I say that is because you cannot fight a war against man if you're still centered on man. And what I mean is we're centered still on man, so you can't fight a war against man as the Amalek woman, as the indigenous woman, is because you still believe you're under the impression that it's still time to make families, to get married, and all of this under these conditions. You are wrong. Any man telling you that it's he wants to get married and all of this under these conditions, be aware he is in the system. He's happy to have children for the beast. He's all right with that, and he's happy to have you make children for the beast. Now, whenever they talk about the drop in, whenever they talk about the drop in birth rate, understand it has nothing to do with spirituality or soul. It always has to do with equity. Our birth rate has nothing to do with this system except equity, which means all the babies you have is to just bring them money. It is so that they can work all of our future children. And this is how I say we're not ready for war because you're willing to produce more children at a time when we live amongst people who have shown us that they're going to bring in more people and give them our Social Security. These people haven't paid anything into Social Security. Whose Social Security you think they gonna get? Hmm. Right. So any man telling you he wants to get married during a time of war and you're going to go for it, you are centered around men. Now, Amalek women who are friends with other women of the system, be aware that when you are friends with women who center men, you will get left in the dust. You will be their best friends. You will be their confidants. You could be everything. You'll be their ride or die until they get a man. They can easily forgive women who are centered around men, can easier forgive men than they can forgive women for their transgressions. Women who are centered around men can forgive men for drug use, for molestation, for physical abuse, for mental abuse, for emotional abuse, and financial abuse. There's six things that these men are doing against us. But you can forgive them for that, but let a sister fall short of your expectations, she's to the curb. So women, Amalek women, be aware that you're going to be start cutting off of these women of the realm, these circular women. Now, when I say circular women, I mean women who believe in religion, who have culture. And you know that they center men because most of us grew up what? In a home where uh, Jesus picture was on the wall, a black Jesus, a white Jesus, I don't care. Anywhere religious is practiced in the home, that home is centered around male presence because Allah is a man. Jesus is a man. The God is a man. So if when we're in a time of war, you cannot depend on men who are praying to a male God to come save them. And this is why I said X marks the spot. We are the chromosome. We are the reason why the eclipse happened the way that it is. Chromosome women, that's right. Generation X women, that's right. This is your time. So the reason why I don't see any of the women making moves is because you're still male centered. And as long as you're male centered, you will believe or be of the understanding under male law, understanding that you cannot go to war without the man. False. False. The men been saying they the leaders for the longest time, but they have not made a call for war. Why not? If the man is the lead and this bullshit is going on in our realm, where is the call for war? There ain't none because he's in circular mode. And he's always been taught that he's the lead, but you see our communities, you see the devastation of our communities. That's not a leader. You understand? And now they put the Jesus contract out. That's bad for us because he's going to put on that cloak, the AKA black man, African American man. He's going to put on that Jesus cloak and he's not going to be mentally ready and he's going to lead us down more bullshit than we've already been led down under the Nation of Islam, under Christianity, under Judaism, under whatever these freaking entities are, which are all corporate entities. Okay. So let's go to center because we want to make this clear. You know, I am not about doing no education without center. Merriam Webster's New Collegiate Dictionary, 1973. So center 178. We're going to go to definition 2A. A point, area, person, or thing that is most important or pivotal in relation to an indicated activity, interest, or condition. So right now they're saying that the man is the focal point because this they just released the Jesus contract. So this person or this thing is the most important or pivotal in relation to an indicated activity, interest, or condition. To be a source for which something originates. Okay, so monotheism originates being centered around one person that can save everybody on the realm. And this is how you know man is wicked. I'm going to tell you how. Because men will never hold themselves accountable to the people who they harm the most, which are the victims, because they can always go to an outside source and say, Jesus, forgive me. But what about your victim? Do men ever come back and apologize? Even if they do, it's weak, it's not real because they're usually repeat offenders. Why? Because they have a get out of jail card with the Jesus contract. Okay, so when you want to hold people accountable, it's hard to hold somebody who was religious accountable because they have a get out of jail card that says, "Oh Jesus, I know I did all of this wicked stuff, but I know you died for all my sins, so I have the right to keep sinning." This makes him weak. This makes him weak. So we're going to go to center two, one, to place or fix at or around the center or center area position. The picture on the wall is right here. Center the picture on the wall. Who is the center of most people, especially if they're religious? It's always Jesus or some kind of religious entity. So we have to decenter the man because right now he's already fallen. He's fallen. As a chess piece, they done. They done. This is why this bill is for the Amalek women, so that you could continue to decenter men and take control of your life. Okay, this is what this is about, decentering men so we could take control of our lives. And the men haven't put out the call for war because he feel like the beast, no matter which one it is, the lesser of two evils, which means he's willing to practice wickedness. Both of these men are wicked. Trump and Biden are wicked. And anybody who's talking about the lesser of two evils is Satan's bitch, basically. Uh, you believe in Satan. Because the true Amalek, we're going to stand against Satan because Satan got to fight us from generation to generation. And this is why we have to fight for generation to generation because the men won't stand with the women. Y'all don't back us up. Y'all tell us it's our fault, the community, our world is falling apart. Y'all leave the kids on us. Y'all are weak. Y'all are weak. The men are weak. There's been no call to war for our people. With everybody else around the world, has taken up arms against the wicked government. What are our people doing? Y'all supposed to be on code, and I shouldn't see nobody talking about that look like me talking about nothing else going on in the world except for what's going on here. We at war. We at war. They just moved immigrants on us and gave them billions of dollars and told us we still got to work harder. Where's the black man? Where is the black man that said, not my child, not my wife? I'm not going to put my family through this. I didn't have my children to be slaves for these people, for you to pay other people that ain't did an ounce of work in this land. But you're not only are you going to tell us we got to continue to work while you bring in people and give them free money, you're going to institute a mandatory draft for blacks, aka indigenous people. You know that draft is for our carbonated, melanated people, men and women. So when I say these men are weak, I fucking mean that. Where is the call to war to protect the women and children? So you have to keep going with the decentering men. And you cannot decenter men and go to war as long as you got a Jesus on your wall, as long as you are practicing any religion where the male head of the religion is a man. You can't. And the men have already proven they're not willing to do it. There has been no call to war. So women, Amalek women, aka indigenous women, aka African American, black, whatever you want to call yourself. When I said X marks the spot, that meant all white chromosomes. You were supposed to be getting ready to go to war. But because you're still male centered, you're waiting on a man to get it together to go. No, no. So we've made the man the center of gravity. And he's not ready to go to war for anybody that isn't his. For anybody he isn't sticking his who hacker in. He not willing to go to war. We have a whole nation under duress, financially, educationally, soulfully, emotionally, financially, mentally, and nobody has made the call to war, but the rest of the world is in line. What's wrong with us? Come on, y'all. Come on. Yes. So this is us decentering men. Now, you have to be able to let go of the system. And man is tied to the system. He's comfortable in the system. And we have to be able to let him go. We have to be able, any man that's not willing to take care of the women and children of the realm, these men have to be let go of. They don't want to learn. They're still thinking with not their brains. They believe that they still are of the understanding that whatever education they gain from the beast is going to help them, even though 200 years of being educated by the beast, what has that gotten us? So the first education came from the Moors. The second education came from these people when the Moors was willing to use them to whitewash the system. So this is what I mean when I say you have to decenter the male. Start putting yourself first. No man on this realm has called for an act of war against our people and women and children. So women, when I said X marks the spot, I meant that this message is for you. This is not for the men. Our men are gone. And this is why a lot of people drop me. Because I'm gonna live and do shit and say shit that ain't gonna go along with the realm. So let's look up weak-willed women. Yeah, we have to understand what's really going on. You know I got notes. You know I got notes, so I got to go over my notes. Yeah, this is unacceptable amongst our people that the men have not even stood up yet. So you can imagine where their minds are. They talk a good game, but ain't nobody made the call to war. Okay, Zechariah 11, ministers, pastors, deacons. These are the corrupt shepherds, 673, because this is who we're following. And we need to stop that. Okay, Zechariah 11:4, the two shepherds. This is what the Lord my God says. You know, I ain't in no religion. Pasture the flock marked for slaughter. Their buyers slaughter them and go unpunished. Those who sell them say, Praise the Lord, I am rich. Their own shepherds do not spare them, for I will no longer have pity on the people of the land, declares the Lord. I will hand everyone over to his neighbor and his king, and they will oppress the land, and I will not rescue them from their hands. You're waiting on an outside deity to come, and the book keeps telling you, I'm not going to save you. You are there is no one coming to save you. And the Christ that is coming, if you pay attention to your book, is coming with a sword. And he's already here. And who is he slaying? The women and children. The women and children. Been here. The Antichrist been here. Slaying the women and children. The Amalek women and children of the realm. See, y'all don't know what y'all doing in these books. Y'all having a good time in them, but it's okay. So they got a mandatory draft for Son of Man, but I'm looking for something specific. I'm looking for something about the Son of Man. Let's go to Jeremiah 5, 536. Yeah, because I need y'all to understand what's really going on in y'all realm. 556. No one is upright. 5, 6. I'm sorry, 5, 7. Why should I forgive you? Your children have forsaken me and sworn by gods that are not gods. I supplied all their needs, yet they committed adultery and thronged to the houses of prostitutes. They are well fed, lusty stallions, each needing for another man's wife. Should I not punish them for this, declares the Lord? Should I not avenge myself on such a nation as this? You have to decenter men. They are they're not they're not ready. And as long as you follow them, who are the children, you have to understand when you center man, there's a certain psychology that comes with the AKA black man on his way to becoming an adult. Now, this is for the women, and this is what I noticed as a young woman having to help my mother and father raise my little brother and the other young men in our community. There was an awful psyops done in our communities when we were younger. And part of the psyops is the liquor store. We had liquor stores in our community. That was the first psyop. And then during the 70s, late 60s and 70s, they did something horrible to our young men. They put pornography right in front of them. Half naked women right on the shelf. Now, what do you think that that does to the mind of a man, especially a young man that hasn't developed himself? What do you think that does to the mind of the young women who have to come in and go to the store around men who are looking at half naked women in the store? How do you think that made our daughters feel? How do you think that made me feel as a 10-year-old going to the store for my parents, and I walk into a liquor store and there's Penthouse and Playboy up right in full view with the women just, and there's grown men in the store looking at this. They hypersexualized our community for a reason. And the man is so hypersexualized, it's hard to get him to pull his out his so that we can get it together as a people. So you have to understand there's been this sexualization of the man, not of the woman, of the man. Because as long as they can keep him distracted, that's what he wants, that imagery, that woman in these BET videos, these women in these rap videos and movies and things like that, he will stay distracted. So imagine that's being put in that man, the mind of the Amalek man since childhood. And he was circumcised, so he really has no control over his Peter Weeder. So um, that takes a toll on any community. And we as a community, like, when are we going to say, hey, this is unacceptable? And we've how many generations? So if this happened while I was a little girl, that means my son, the generation after, and his children. So now not only do we have the pornographic music and the pornographic uh, visual aid that's being put out, now you have this new thing called video games. And I can't stand these video games. The video games are first shooter that encourage the men to go out and young boys to go out and shoot people because it's in first shooter mode where you can really see who you're shooting. Grand Theft Auto, where you can buy prostitution, get cars. So for all of you parents who and men and women who think this is all right imagery for your children, and then you wonder and you look at the realm and you say, what's going on? This is what's going on. You're not preparing your children, mind, body, and soul for the real realm. You've only got them ready to play games. And they're uneducated because all they know how to do is play games. All they know how to do is talk slick. This state of being we're in is very unacceptable. Very unacceptable. So when we're dealing with Amalek men, you have to realize that you're dealing with someone who is not in his right state of mind. Like, he believes he's a man. Like, they don't even know their own language. Like, man is a kind, those are Moors. Those are mankind. He isn't even a man, he's a woman. I'm a woman. They're women. But because they would believe I'm being effeminate if I called them women, they don't understand that I'm mirroring them. The Moors came and interfered with our contract and said, "Ugh, what you mean you a woman? No, you a man. You got this, you got that." And as long as outsiders can, as long as our men are only allow outside men to educate them, men who are of the ram, who are of the beast to educate them, and you won't even listen to us, there will never be a call to war. There will never be a march. There will never be a boycott. There will never be anything. You're going to be back in the reset, and your soul is going to be reset to be die and be reborn back in the system where you have to start all over. It's like a Jenga. Okay, so we know about let the land produce. Hmm. So yeah, I didn't want to make it this long, but I wanted to let the women know the call to arms has been, you know, it's out there, but our people are the only ones that's not able. So I appreciate, the small moves that we can make, but I need to make this education that we're lacking. Amalek women, we need to be aware. Indigenous women, you need to be aware. So please continue to decenter men. Continue with the block party. Block these celebrities. I don't care who they are. I don't care who they are. I don't care who they are. I don't care if they're foundationally black. Block these celebrities and study. Study. You got work to do. You got work to do. And you also need to, what else? What else are we gonna do? Nope, that's not what I wanted. Remember, you are ancient peoples, an age living being, ancient, one who lived in ancient times, the civilized people of antiquity, those of classical nations. Okay, don't forget that. And please do not forget that. Please go back to Beto Rice's live. He did a couple of wonderful lives right before the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse. 8:43, 8:44. I think Titus, Amalek women. We'll see. Let's see what's going on. Titus 2:3. Likewise, teach the older women to be reverent in the way they live, not to be slanderers or addicted to too much wine, but to teach what is good. Then they can train the younger women to love their husbands and children, to be self controlled and pure, to be busy at home. No. And I want to read all of this because you need to know. Wherever there's truth, there's always lies to be told. You do need to be self controlled, to be pure, to be kind, and to be subject. Don't ever subject yourself to any man, not your husband, not your father. Do not subject yourself. You are not a subject. Fathers can destroy their daughters too, and I know that firsthand. Firsthand. Never give up your power. Don't subject yourself to substandard treatment. Whomever you give your service to is whoever you are a slave to. You can serve your family, but don't subject yourself to your family. There is a difference. People who are in service can walk away. People who are subjective or subjected cannot. Similarly, in 2:6, similarly encourage young men to be self-controlled. 2:7, in everything, set them an example by doing what is good. In your teaching, show integrity, seriousness, and soundness of speech that cannot be condemned, so that those who oppose you may be ashamed because they have nothing bad to say about us. That's how the Amalek man's supposed to be. So right now he's full of games. He's on the video games. His mouth is real slick and nasty towards the women and children of the realm soul. Women, Amalek women and men, let's get it together. You know I'm coming with the 486. You know I'm coming with the fire because I don't want people to just come in and they're going to, but I'm always going to say no. I'm never going to be all right with any Bible verse. Even though I'm a Bible thumper, I am never okay with any Bible verse telling any Amalek women to submit and subject themselves because that's how we got into this trouble in the first place. You are a free thinker, which is why the men leave the children with you because he's been given the Bible, the Bible. And even when he's dead wrong, he'll say, you're being difficult. You're being this, you're being that. He's weak minded because real men don't leave their children unless they dead. My father was a criminal. He was a heroin addict. He was a lot of things, but he fucking never left us, even after my parents separated. Do you hear me? Men, real men do not leave their children. So you can imagine what kind of men you are dealing with. Okay, let's go to 468 Proverbs. '27:19. As water reflects a face, so a man's heart reflects the man. No call to war has been given. No man has put up a new school to re educate our children properly. They still want to do Pan Africanism, take you back to Africa and all this stuff. We got to stop that. Proverbs 27:19. As water reflects a face, so a man's heart reflects the man. My heart reflects who I am. Don't play with me. I'm like women. Don't play with me. Let me tell you something. Quit following these motherfuckers. I love the black man. I had some. I got a couple. And guess what? They ain't listening either. Because there's something about the man's voice that calls to other men, and that's okay. That lets you know how weak and seductive they're willing to seduce their own sons to follow Satan instead of following the mother who has given our sons proper law. Because I'm tired of these men coming up here talking about this is the result of the realm. If I teach my sons, do not lie, do not steal, do not rape, you think we're not teaching this to our men before we let them out of our house? That's not true. Is what is happening is that I, as the mother, have taught my son not to kill, not to steal, not to rape, not to be do not covet. And what happens is now that the man is out the home, there is no man to make the children follow the law of the mother because the mother lays down the law and the father is the one who enforces the law. Where the fuck are the fathers? Amalek women, where are the fathers? So when they come up here and try to blame everything on us, don't ever tell me or any other woman y'all leaders out here when no call to war has happened. Don't do it. So like I said, I didn't want to make this too live. It's been a half an hour and a couple of other minutes. I got plenty to do. So peace and love to you, all of you. Like I said, please hit me up. Of course, this is Bible Study with the matriarch Salima Ellis. You can catch me on YouTube. You can also catch me on Facebook. Salima Ellis. You can also catch me on Instagram. I got a banger video, my only video on Instagram, where I tore the tethers and the mimics down for coming after us, talking about we have no culture and all of this. I broke it down for anybody that want to know what's really going on. You might not like what I say, but I'm not lying. Okay. You can also catch me on Facebook, Universal Mind, School of Evolution, where I kick a lot of the knowledge on my page. Come holler at me. Please like, subscribe, and share. Like and subscribe. Y'all know this knowledge is not for the weak of heart. I am not here to kiss nobody's pahookie. I'm not. As always, my words carry more than my weight in gold. Hit that cash app. If you don't like it, please scroll past my videos because I'm a teacher. I'm not here for nothing else. I'm not here for nothing else. I'm just here for the truth to get our people started. I will be posting on my Facebook page the moves I have made as an Indigenous woman. I'm back in my tent, the love of my life, and I'm hoping to get a new one very soon. That's why I asked for donations because I'm out here for real. I have nothing better to do. This is our time. All I want to know is what you're going to do with the time you've been given. That's all I want to know. And I show my time, and then I go offline sometime because I'm busy. I'm busy actually doing the things I talk about. I walk what I talk, and I talk what I'm walking. So, gratitude for coming on in. I'm so thankful and grateful that those of you who have an ear that you can hear me, and we're gonna do it again. I don't know when, but we'll do it again. But right now, that's what's really happening. No man under the Amalek without has made a call to war. So yeah, peace and love. I'm out.